Today's podcast is inspired by the idea that we need a legit big-time wide receiver 3 this offseason. For example, if Devontae Smith falls to us at 14, we got to take him, right? How can you pass him up? Are you nuts? Which, in theory, that would be sick. I mean, we for sure have the best wide receiver trio in the league by far. But I just feel like we have more urgent, pressing needs to address this offseason if you're the Minnesota Vikings. Not only that, I feel like we already have a legit wide receiver 3 on this roster, and his name is Irv Smith Jr. I know he's a tight end, but if we're talking about in terms of targets, who on this team deserves the third most targets not named Dalvin Cook? It's Irv Smith Jr. I mean, he's explosive before and after the catch. He fights through contact. He's electric. He's everything we've always asked Kyle Rudolph to be. He's already here right now. You give him the respectable targets, I mean, he'd be on that same level as Darren Waller. He's that damn talented. Now, I understand we have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson on this team. Last year, Irv Smith Jr., he averaged 3.3 targets per game. Now, some of that may be due to the fact, well, not even some of it, a large portion of that is due to the fact that Kyle Rudolph was in the mix. But I understand after Adam Thielen, after Justin Jefferson, but there's but so many more targets to spread around. Add on top of that, compound on top of that, we're a run-first team, and you want to add another potential star receiver on this roster? We've had the best wide receiver tandem in the league the last 4 years. When outside of Pat Shurmur in 2017 have we really maximized the roster on the personnel, both in the passing game and the run game? In 2020, we had the 6th fewest pass attempts. 2019, 3rd fewest. 2018, now we did have the 6th highest pass attempts, but thanks to John DeFilippo, we ignored Dalvin Cook. We had the 6th fewest rush attempts in the league. There has to be balance. We already have a dangerous pass-catching weapon in-house on the roster. His name is Irv Smith Jr. Just use him. Because I'm telling you something right now, folks, especially to the Mike Zimmer stands out there, you cannot have it both ways. The more we saw from Stephon Diggs, we saw from Adam Thielen complaining about the coaching, the more that you want to add star talent in the passing game on top of the star talent we already have in the passing game with this head coach, with the philosophy of run, pass, defense, you are going to piss dudes off. Just use what you already have, maximize the talent that we have on this roster, and go from there. As long as we have this head coach, that's what you have to do. Adding Devontae Smith would be so wonderful, but it would amount to nothing with the way the structure of this team is set up right now. Irv Smith Jr. is legit. Get him more involved, and he will have much success. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Usually I do this podcast Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'm going to be out of town. Next podcast will be on Tuesday. We'll see you then.